What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? This is PetRockMedia, aka Fotojo, coming at you with my thoughts and overall impressions of today's Apple event in 2015. At first, I was under the impression that it was only going to be an iPhone unveiling. Now, weeks leading up into the event, I had read a little bit about how they were going to start introducing possibly a new iPad, possibly something along with the Apple TV. And just a few other rumors that you hear out there, you know, the iPhone maybe not shooting 4K, yada, yada, yada. Well, the day has come and the day has gone, and Apple pretty much stuck with what they normally do in these mid-cycle refreshes of iPhones, in that they stuck with the S naming of it. So right now you have the iPhone 6S and the iPhone 6S Plus. My daily driver that I have is an iPhone 6 Plus. Picked this up in the gold color on day one, have never had any problems with it. And I'm looking to do the same most likely with this new refresh and getting the iPhone 6 Plus S or 6S Plus. This phone will be then going to my wife. She is in desperate need of a new phone, and she's not all into the upgrades and things like that. As a matter of fact, right now she's rocking an original iPhone 5. So she will be getting my iPhone 6 Plus. Now, just my overall thoughts at what they introduced. First thing I'm going to go is with the Apple Watch. I do not own an Apple Watch. As a matter of fact, I am rocking the original Pebble black. It's not the Pebble Steel. It's on a green band that I picked up from Best Buy. And that's my daily watch. The battery life on this thing is amazing. It's at 90% right now, and this is already its third day of use. So unbelievable battery life on the Pebble is what has led me to just kind of keep it. With the introduction of today's new watch OS, the Apple Watch looks a little bit more nicer, a little bit more attractive for my own personal uses of the Apple Watch. Me and my wife have kind of reserved maybe waiting for an Apple Watch 2, just, you know, because a lot of the things that I hear about it, essentially this gets us through what we need. So just kind of weighing the pros and cons of it, but it does look very promising with the ability now for third-party apps and so forth and things like that. The iPad Pro, which I had heard that they were going to since I believe a year or two ago. They were toying with the possibility of having an iPad Pro. It was unveiled today. Massive, massive thing. 12.9 inches, almost like taking the entire screen off of a 13-inch MacBook Pro with Retina. Still undecided as to if it is something that I want to get. Currently my mobile photography flow is shooting with one of my Fujis that I have unboxed or I have reviewed on this channel. The X100T and the X-T1 are my two daily drivers, along with the Canon G7X that I'm shooting on right now, which I will have my first impressions, because this is a new camera. For those of you who haven't noticed the change in the footage, this is a brand new camera, and we will kind of talk about that in a later video. So be sure you subscribe so that we can catch that video when it does come out. But my normal photography flow is shooting on those two cameras, or these three cameras. They all shoot SD, so I have the lightning wire to SD for my iPad mini. Recently purchased a new iPad mini. I had an original iPad mini. iPad mini 2 when they first came out with Retina. Huge incident with that iPad mini that I will show you in another video. That is something that I'm looking to film. Very crazy story, but long story short, it ended up getting severely damaged. And when I say severely, I mean unrecognizable. Screen was not usable. I mean, it looked like it went through torture. It looked like it went through one of these blend tests that are done. So long story short, I saw that the iPad mini 3 had a huge discount at Best Buy. Then I also had some coupons and some Best Buy dollars that they call them, or whatever they call them, the reward zone points. So I was able to snag a 128 gig iPad mini 3 for a little bit over $400, 128 gig, which was amazing. It was an amazing deal. knowing that the new one was going to be released, or at least some type of iPad was going to be released. So I decided to just, you know what, I had been fine with the iPad 2, so I just went ahead and got an iPad 3 since, again, my iPad 2 was destroyed. So that's pretty much how I like to go small. I like to keep things nice and compact. So daily driver now possibly being my G7X with an X100T, and then utilizing the XT1 when I'm needing those interchangeable lenses, macro, wide angle, things of that nature. And always utilizing the iPad for any of these quick edits. When I stopped doing wedding photography, it really toned down my need for massive editing power on the road. Now I have a 15-inch MacBook Pro with Retina. It's a 2014 model, but it's something that I use and it does get the job done. So with the iPad mini doing quick edits, I am an Adobe Creative Cloud member, so I do utilize all of their apps. I utilize Lightroom Mobile, which does an amazing job, does all my edits that I need, and then it syncs up automatically. So when I get home, yes, they are only the JPEGs, but I do get those images at home for quick sharing on social media and so forth. So the iPad Pro might be something that I look into. I'm not really 100% sure. If anything, it would just be to have bigger, larger real estate. So those are my thoughts on the iPad Pro. The Apple TV, I am not a major Apple TV user. I do use a lot of Roku. As a matter of fact, my house is full and flooded of Rokus, primarily for Plex. Then when the Xbox and the PlayStation 4 now have Plex apps, I do utilize those apps a lot more than I do utilize my Roku, essentially just for that Plex. Most of my content is consumed through either my Xbox One or my PS4 downstairs in our main TV setup, which I'm going to be doing a tour of also. A lot of videos that I plan on coming out. So Apple TV, I'm not really 100%. I do like the voice with the Siri. I do like the possibility of apps, so it's interesting to see what third-party developers will have for apps. If Plex is one of those that are going to be approved, or since I know there is a Plex app for the iPhone, perhaps some of those apps will just carry over to the Apple TV. I don't believe that was discussed in today's presentation, so that's something to keep a lookout for myself. That might be something. The price jump is pretty significant, considering now you can get an Apple TV second and third generation, the smaller black bricks, for about $64, $65, sometimes even $50 at Best Buy on Amazon when they do have them on sale sometimes. So we'll wait and see where that's gonna go. My biggest reason to watch today's video was in fact for the iPhone 6, since I mentioned this is now going to be my wife's phone. All the spec increases is something that I'm going to look forward to. Ability for 4K. I was going to be picking up, instead of the G7X, I was looking at picking up the Sony RX100 Mark IV. But with the issues with the 4K video, and I don't know if it's so much issues or just something that Sony realized and put in their brochures and in their manuals, that you can only shoot 5 minutes of 4K, and for me that's something that's not going to be usable. Like right now we are at 8 minutes on this video. By now the Sony RX100 Mark IV would have shut off and overheated, so I would have had to do multiple takes. So that was something that didn't really interest me. The photos that come out of that camera are awesome, but I can argue that the Canon G7X does take amazing pictures, if not up to the same quality of the Sony. I've only had one Sony RX100, and that was the Mark I, the very first one. Was not a huge fan of it. It turned on slowly, it zoomed poorly. It just, for me, it wasn't a camera to my liking, so I returned it almost within a week back to Best Buy. So with now having the camera on the iPhone pack up to 12 megapixels now and shoot 4K video, this will probably be my fast, quick camera along with the G7X that I'll be utilizing to vlog and to post videos and so forth. So again, guys, that's my quick, just overall thoughts on today's Apple event, September 2015. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Leave your comments down below about certain, just, you know, what are your overall thoughts and comments and you know, overall, just what are you looking to get possibly from what was announced today through Apple. So once again, this is PetRockMedia signing out. Peace.